It's right there.
Oh, okay. So, in the Lamri meditation, the sixth perfection is also included, and among the six perfections, the last two perfections, the perfection of concentration and perfection of wisdom, are two more difficult to understand and practice. And I think we did talk about the perfection of concentrations. And we had a meditation class earlier, in which we did talk about meditation for 1 month, and during which we talked about the perfection of wisdom. Perfection of concentration. We did talk about concentrations, meditation, concentration that can be developed through your meditation. So we did talk about that kind of perfection of concentrations, and now we will have to talk about the perfection of wisdom.
아니 쌤이 영화 마셔가지고 내서 땜부신 또 돼야 되지 뭐 지래.
So also what is single point in mind, calm abiding mind. The calm abiding mind is to have focus your mind on particular object calmly, to have a focus your mind on a particular object. That is considered or known as calm abiding meditation practice.
아니 신내디 가서 미디어다 간제 지안에 기박해요 뭐 수준은 유지나 신내 미디어 가르쳐줘 이론도 미디어 가르치는 되고.
The object of the calm abiding meditation can be anything. It depends on your interests, your likes. You can choose your own object of meditations.
미디어 수준도 어떤데 샤바이나 강충중도 샤는 야야.
But if you want to choose the object of meditation, a form, a physical thing, then that should be. It is good if you choose that physical object for your meditation. It's as smallest as possible. So once you have chosen the object of meditation, it's physical or non-physical, and once you started focusing your mind on that particular object, and then what do you have to try to do? You have to try to prevent the obstacles from arising. Obstacles such as excitement, obstacles such as excitement and chingwa means sinking mind. Sinking mind and excitement are the two obstacles that needs to be prevented while you are trying to have focus on that particular object. But maybe I should not spend time talking about it. I think we did talk about it earlier, so I think we will not spend much time because we don't have much time, so I don't want to spend much time talking. So you can read it and then understand it by yourself. But the special insight is quite difficult. It is of course discussed in the Lama meditation. And special insight discussed in the great Lama. They have discussed about the special insight in more detail in the great Lama text. When they talk about the special insight, they talk about mainly the emptiness. They're talking mainly about emptiness. When they talk about the special insight, before they start talking about special insight, they talk about the two types of teaching of Buddha. The teaching known as definitive and teaching known as interpretive. And then once they have talked about the definitive and interpretation, then they start talking about emptiness. When they talk about emptiness, they talk about the negation object that is to be negated, the negation of the object. They talk about the object that is to be negated in more detail. Also, they talk about the difference between the two Madhyamika school, the Pasang school and the autonomous school. And also they talk about the difference in differences in profound defining the conventional truths, not conventional truth, defining the conventionality. So these topics are something that can be understood only by someone who have studied the great texts or the major texts, major Buddhist philosophical texts. Otherwise, if someone who hasn't studied the major Buddhist philosophical texts, and one would not be able to understand those topics. Also, if you when you read the Shantideva's text, the Shantideva's text known as Bodhicitta Avatara, the Bodhisattva's way of life, okay, then you will find the discussion on the wisdom at the end of the text. The 9th chapter is in which they discuss about the and in that chapter, the 9th, they talk more about the Buddhist view or philosophical view. Also, when you get to that point, when you get to that point, you will not understand the topic or point unless you have studied the Madhyamika text. Yes. Okay. So also the discussion on the wisdom in the Bodhicitta Avatara, and that is discussed in the 9th chapter of the text, as well as the discussion on special insight that is discussed in the Great Lama text. These are something that you can understand if you study the tenets first. If you have studied the tenets, and then when you read those topics in those texts, then of course you will be able to understand the point. Once you have understood or studied and understand the points that is discussed in the tenets, and then of course when you read those topics in those texts, then you can understand the point, as well as that you can apply those points in your Lama meditation as well. In order to have a profound understanding of Buddhist philosophical view or Buddhist view, you have to study and understand the texts written by the Indian master Nagarjuna and and also Atisha and so forth. Then you have to follow the way in which those Indian masters have studied and interpreted the Buddhist philosophical view and Buddhist view, and then that is the only way. And then after that's the only way that you can through these studies you can develop the realization on this philosophical view. There are many texts talking about Buddhist tenets, but this is the text that is that's written in a very simple way, so that people can understand. So that's why we have chosen this text to study. So we don't have much time to go detail into this text, into the discussion of this text, because we don't have much time. So that's why I just like to outline the general points of the tenets in respect according to this text. I think you will enjoy. More you study and understand this text, the text of the tenets, And this can applied. This can be applied in the practice of in analytical meditation practice.
다 대상 따뜻스 주 zamban에 사람 가부를 지기도 따뜻스야지. 따뜻도로 높은 시야를 가고 싶은 시기도.
You can see today people are interested in studying the Buddhist view and tenets.
지 최케랭에나 말랭에나 참에 남베 따뜻도로 동안 수수부지기도.
You can see that people who are religious or who are religious or non-religious or even atheist, they do have interest. They do have interest in studying this philosophy and tenets.
이내 아주 따뜻스야지 케베 남주 된서부터 좋아하는 말이지. 케바서 그 남주 된서 소리지. 근데 말이야.
But the tenets and also the Buddhist views are not established, or they are not expressed or discussed in order to show off the expertise of the scholars, of the Buddhist scholars. That they are something that you need to they are discussed or talked in order to practice.
따뜻스야지 가르스라나 쪼쪼 유무 뭐서 내가 해야지. 당함식 쪼어된 비지.
It is
and
Buddhist view and tenets are taught in order to as an antidote against as an antidote to eliminate, as an antidote against our afflicting emotions, or in order to eliminate our afflicting emotions. That's the reason these Buddhist view and tenets are taught.
제당 나라도 참바를 인지를 자주고 생각들 얘네야 로또 친구시라 여기 얘네야 예모는 무슨 카드 줘야 돼 되도 용도고요 말해.
Even though we are someone who have developed love and compassion and practice these things, but these positive qualities such as love and compassion that we have developed, these cannot really these positive emotion cannot really counteract directly to eliminate our afflictions. This cannot really this cannot serve as antidote directly to eliminate directly to the root of afflicting emotions. So what is the root of what is the antidote that can really counteract or eliminate the root of the cyclic existence is the understanding of Buddhist philosophical view. And once you have studied and understood the Buddhist philosophical view or Buddhist view, and then then that understanding should be combined with the Buddhist with the positive emotions such as love and compassion. Then you practice.
따뜻히 참바던 인지 되게 무슨 따와 제 장주고 생각들 맞나? 야 따뜻히 제도 공부하는 유목을 인구 채워마도 시를 인구 채도 있는 방법도요. 인지 참바 인지 장주고 생각 맞으면이나?
유목은 인구 채워
유목을 인구 채도요. 유목 잠방 다주베 되거든 도요마도 시를 인구 채도요.
네, 이제 됐으면은
장주고 생각 맞으나?
Even though you have studied and understood the Buddhist view and as well as tenets, and even though you have developed realization on these points, but unless these are combined with the love and compassion, this understanding, mere understanding of Buddhist philosophical view and tenets cannot really serve as an antidote to eliminate the obstruction to omniscience. This can, of course, eliminate the obstruction to liberation, but this cannot serve as antidote to eliminate obstruction to omniscience.
다가나신 파지 두유나 파지 두유는 셰르 파지 세죠. 동반이. 가서 다 셰르 다 떠도 셰르 파지 따도 뒤에 안에 능나 시세. 파지 타마도 롱한다 버지요 그래서 고도 산제에서 트버 지게 싫어 그 트버 지게 그래서 가지 도는 타마 싫어
네. 오케이.
바지도 뭔가도 롱하나시지 아니 타마도 싫어 그래서 저는 싫어 미고 롱한다 산제에서 트버 지게 되게 지고 그래서 이때 때문에 싫어 지고 그래서
So we talk about the main Mahayana practice is of course is known as 6 perfections. So the first 5 perfections are considered as blind people, 5 blind people, and the last one, the perfection of wisdom, is considered as is considered as someone who is not blind, who has the eyes to see things. So that's the last one, the last perfection of the profession of wisdom, is the one that leads those rest of the 5 blind people towards the state of enlightenment. So perfection of wisdom is something that is in relation to the Buddhist philosophy and tenets.